Hi, welcome to my channel. I'm Susanne, I'm an indie author, and this is going to be my author devlog for Vampire Project, which is obviously a working title. I hope I can come up with something better before I hit publish next year. I'm an indie author, so that means I wear all the hats around here. I book format, I market, I edit, I draw my own covers, which sometimes takes dozens of iterations before I get something good, and of course, I also do all the writing. So at times, doing all these jobs can feel a little bit scary because I lack a safety net. But at the same time, what I love about self-publishing is having all this creative freedom and all the creative control over my work. So I hope to, in these videos, give you an overview of the kind of work that I do to get this book into a publishable state, and also show you my creative process, the sort of decisions I make to improve the book. And then hopefully along the way, I'll get you interested in my story as well. Vampire Project used to be an epic fantasy with a vampire main character, but as I worked on it over the years, it turned into more of a dark fantasy with distinctive horror elements. And it's the story of Afia, an ancient vampire from a desert continent who gets stranded on this mysterious mist island called Ulongdan. And it's the eve of an invasion. There's these invaders from the north coming in. She meets this young clan leader, An Yin, who is fighting for the survival of his people. And as she joins this war together, they find out there are these monsters that are threatening to destroy the magic of Ulongdan itself. And so they set out on a journey across this island to save the magic and fight the monsters. But so as this transition happened from fantasy book to horror book, I happened upon a bit of trouble. And this is something that I'm still working on today. This is something I'm working on this week, actually. It's this scene that happens, and it doesn't quite work yet. It's about a third through the book. The characters have gotten lost in this mysterious forest. It's getting dark. They're lost. They're trying to find a way out. And suddenly they happen upon this village that shouldn't be there. And as they head into the village square, they find a girl sitting on the rim of a well, and she's singing a nursery rhyme. And I wanted this to be this uber creepy nursery rhyme. So I think I went a little bit over the top, and I headed straight into edgelord territory. When I read through this scene after I'd written it, I just started laughing. It was so ridiculous. And I came to call this effect the Geisterbahn effect. And that's what I want to talk about today. A Geisterbahn is a German word for a ghost train or a dark ride that you might find at the fairgrounds. A good example of one would actually be the Haunted Mansion ride in Disney World. But I'm really talking about more of the cheap rides here. And this is the sort of ride you get into a cart, and it drives off into a haunted mansion, and then a lot of creepy things might happen at you. Things might jump out from the side, things might fall down from above, but really, as long as you stay in that cart, you're perfectly safe. And while this might be a bit of a scary experience for a little kid, as an adult, you realize this really, really soon, and then you start noticing the cheap plastic on the skeletons. So it all becomes a little bit ridiculous, and you might end up just laughing as you take this ride. And I think that's exactly what happened with my book and with that scene. And I think the reason for that was twofold. For one, as I said, I went over the top. But for two, I think I let myself be inspired too much by horror movies and TV shows and video games. And these media, they are really good at doing, visuals and sound effects. And that's what I also focused on in this scene. But a book's not a visual medium, and it can't play music at you. And it doesn't really do jump scares really well either. And so what I'm working on now is really I'm trying to construct this horror scene that will work in the book and sort of craft all these different elements that hopefully will build dread as you go along. So one of the parts of that scene is the nursery rhyme, and that's something I'm working on right now. I'm trying to improve it. As I said, it was deep into edgelord territory before, so I've tried to tone it down, and I've tried all these different versions of it and played with the lyrics a lot, but nothing, unfortunately, so far has quite worked out. So I'm going to give this one more try, and I'm gonna do a sweet and cutesy version of the lyrics, something very innocent. And then my hope is that by having this happen in contrast with this village where night is falling, the mists are rising, and this little girl singing the nursery rhyme, who might be a ghost or a demon or who knows what, that this contrast is going to work and make it creepy rather than having these very obvious creepy lyrics coming at you. So I'll let you know how that goes. And if it works out and you let me know in the comments that you want this, you might be able to convince me to eventually read you this edgelord territory version of the nursery rhyme versus comparing it to whatever I come up with. We'll see. And that's about it for this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked it, don't forget to share it with all your friends and hit the like button. Subscribe if you want to be notified when the next video drops. I'll probably just be reading you the prologue next time to give you an idea of the tone of the story, the world building. I want to show off the world building a little bit, hopefully get you interested in the story. And I hope to see you next time. Bye!